Now let's talk about your man Shawn Porter, the WBC welterweight champion of the world. This man Shawn, he grabbed a duffel bag, threw it on his back, threw his daddy Ken Porter, threw his daddy on his back, made his way down to Lawndale, California to get some solid sparring in with your man El Bandera Roja, David Benavides. We're going to talk about that sparring. We're also going to talk about what went on after that. So let's get to it. Now let's hit up Shawn Porter's Instagram page, but of course I get distracted by this Pam Grier wallpaper. I really wish I was alive in the 70s for that, but anyway, we gonna keep going. We go to Shawn Porter's Instagram and we see a photo of Shawn standing next to none other than the former WBC super middleweight champion, David Benavides, right? And the caption reads, just finished 10 rounds of sparring with this guy, David Benavides. We'll both be ready for war on September 28th. Now, Shawn Porter and David Benavides will both be fighting on the same card September 28th at the Staples Centers in Los Angeles. Very big fight. Shawn Porter versus Earl Spence, David Benavides versus Anthony Durrell. Now, I gotta be honest. I really like this sparring for Shawn Porter, and I'm gonna tell you why, okay? David Benavides is a dog. That boy, he a dog. The boy ain't no joke. For those of you who might not know, David Benavides, he's young. The kid is only 22 years old. He'll be 23 this December, right? But he's very advanced for his age, both mentally and physically, right? Now you're talking about a kid who at 14 years old weighed somewhere in the area of like 250 pounds, got teased about being fat, had the discipline to decide that he wanted to change, stuck to a diet, dropped almost like 100 pounds, mind you, as a teenager. And at 14, 15, 16, he was sparring guys like Gennady Golovkin, sparring guys like Peter Quillen, sparring Gabe Rosado, sparring Kelly Pavlik, the list goes on and on. The kid made a name for himself by going into gyms and beating up on pros, right? Beating up on pros. He would go to a gym. The pro would say, oh, you know, this kid ain't got nothing. I'm gonna just take it light on him. And they'd end up getting stopped or dropped or hurt or just embarrassed, right? So that's how Benavides made a name for himself, right? As a teenager, going to gyms and just beating up on pros, right? Strong young fighter, fully capable of, at least in my opinion, giving Shawn Porter the kind of work that he needs to prepare for somebody like Errol Spence, right? Now, I was reading online and I saw a few people actually criticizing, asking, oh, well, why would Shawn Porter spar a super middleweight? Why would he spar somebody, you know, why wouldn't he spar somebody his own weight? I would think the answer to that would be obvious, right? You want to spar somebody who's bigger than you, especially when the actual fight that you're going into, you'll be facing a bigger opponent. Shawn Porter will be facing Errol Spence. Errol Spence he's a big dude. He's a big welterweight. He has a height and reach advantage over Shawn Porter. I think Errol Spence walks around at like, what, 170, 190, something like that when he's not training. Shawn will be at a height disadvantage, so it makes sense for him to fight bigger guys in sparring, basically. But people get it twisted sometimes, man. People think Shawn Porter is this small dude. Now, yes, he is relatively short when it comes to height. He's only like 5'7". David Benavides is 6'1.5". But other than that, Shawn Porter, he's a pretty big dude. People forget Shawn Porter actually, he fought at 165 in the amateurs. Right, he fought guys like Danny Jacobs, Demetrius Andrade. He actually has a win over Alexander Usyk, the former cruiserweight undisputed champion. Shawn Porter has a win over him in the amateurs. Shawn started his pro career at 168 pounds. His very first fight, a lot of people don't know this, was at 168. Then he immediately moved down to middleweight, and he stayed there for a little while. Then eventually he started hopping back and forth between 154 and 147. He didn't start consistently fighting at 147 until he beat Devin Alexander for the IBF title back in 2013, right? So again, Shawn might be small in stature, but he's a big dude. He's like a little pocket Incredible Hulk, you know what I'm saying? He's just Hulk smash, right? So, but yeah, man, this is good work between the two of them. I saw an interview with David Benavides after the sparring by Fred from Barbershop Conversations. Shout out to Fred from Barbershop Conversations. And in the interview, David Benavides, they asked him, you know, was the sparring like? What happened? And Benavides said that he wasn't really trying to go too hard on Porter. You know, basically just try to touch him, give him just enough work to get him ready. And I believe he said something like, and I quote, I didn't want to mess up Porter's fight, right? Meaning he didn't want to hurt Porter and, you know, get too aggressive and things like that, which is good because that's what you're there for as a sparring partner, right? You don't want to kill the guy. You just want to, push him as far as you can without going too far. But David Benavidez, his dad, Jose Sr., they expressed nothing but respect for Shawn Porter, Kenny Porter, and Team Porter, which is always great to see. But yeah, man, I really love the fact that they're sparring with each other, right? When it comes to sparring, a lot of champions and former champions, they don't like to spar. They don't like to be sparring partners and help other fighters get ready, because it's like this ego thing, right? Like there's a negative connotation with being a sparring partner. It's like, oh, I ain't gonna spar with you. I'm a champion. I ain't gotta do that. Like usually they'll go and get like a up and comer, like someone who hasn't become champ yet, and use them as a sparring partner, somebody who's strong and who can give you a lot of work. It's a lot of egos involved. It's kind of crazy, but I think it's great that they're, putting the ego to the side and coming together and helping each other work out. That's pretty dope. But what's really interesting about this, right? About this sparring is that the WBC actually uploaded a YouTube video of the sparring between Shawn Porter and David Benavidez, but it was only up for a short amount of time. Then it got taken down, right? Now, if you go online to boxing forums like, Boxing Scene and other forums, you'll see that, people like, yo, where's the link? Where's the link? What happened to the link? Where's the video at? I saw it up earlier and now it's gone. But most likely it was taken down at the request of Ken Porter, Shawn Porter's dad, because honestly, it's very rare to see a fighter show footage of themselves sparring in the lead up to a fight, because, for obvious reason, you don't want your opponent to know, what you're looking like, what you're doing, what to expect from you. If you look bad in the sparring, it could hurt the build up and the hype for a fight and things like that. So now that being said, I'll tell you which sparring match that I wish I was in a room for. And that was the Mayweather versus Earl Spence sparring match, the infamous sparring match that nobody want to talk about, that, Floyd supposedly got his eye blacked and got mad at Earl, threw Earl out the gym, brought him back and all that. I wish I could have seen that in person, man. I do. But anyway, that's all I got. This is the very first video for the Boxing Loop. Chances are, if you're looking at this video, you probably came here from the Instagram. I appreciate you. In the comments, please like, comment, and subscribe. Put your username from Instagram into these comments so I can know who you are. Share it. I'll talk to y'all soon. Y'all stay up.